scouring the marketplace for a used compact camera just for the fun of it. At the right price, I don't mind purchasing one and just use it for fun. If I love it, I'll keep it. If I don't like it, I'll sell it off, maybe with a minimal loss, and I really don't mind because the experience of shooting and the process of using the camera, that itself is enough fun and reward for me. And I found this Fuji XF1 in the used market at a very good price, and the camera still looks in such a good condition. So I bought it, and I actually brought this camera to Ipoh. That's about 2.5 hours drive out of town, north from Kuala Lumpur, with a group of friends. We were walking around, eating a lot of good food, and of course, I did some shutter therapy with this XF1. Everything went well. I enjoyed shooting with this camera until it stopped working. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm sharing with you some of the shots I've taken on the streets of Ipoh. Fully operational, this Fujifilm XF1. There are many things I like about it. And I did say that I enjoy shooting with this camera on the streets of Ipoh. I love the sleek and minimalist design on this camera. It looks so clean, it looks so beautiful. I just want to pick it up and go out and take photographs. The camera itself is so compact, so slim, and so light. You can easily slip it in your pocket, or you can fit in any camera bag without taking too much space. And that's the true definition of a compact camera. It is so easy to carry with you everywhere you go to. Now, in terms of camera operations, it's also quite easy to operate. There are dials, there are direct shortcut buttons, there are customizable buttons. You can access the important settings quickly and easily. And this Fuji XF1, it also houses a larger than usual image sensor for a compact at its time, 2/3 sensor. I think that's quite useful because combined with this very versatile zoom lens is 25 to 100 millimeters equivalent, which starts at f1.8 bright aperture. With the 2/3 image sensor, you can get some decent image quality out of this tiny compact camera. In terms of image quality, honestly, it is quite good, but there's nothing to shout about. Sharpness is decent, I get good contrast. I don't really like the color rendering. I think Fuji colors, there's something wrong with it, even with this old XF1 camera, but that's personal. I'm not gonna dive too deep about it. I just don't like how this camera renders colors, and there's something wrong with the skin tone, but hey, color is color. And overall, there's nothing much to complain of this camera. I think I did really love using this while it XF1 was still alive, perhaps there was only one big complaint that I have on this camera. It is the camera startup time, or the effort it takes to turn on the camera. When I first got the camera, well, I must admit, and this may sound like I'm quite a noob, but I didn't know how to turn on the camera. There was no on-off button or switch. As I look around the camera, I was clueless on what I should do to turn on the camera. And I quickly realized that maybe there is something on the lens that I need to do to turn on the camera. And my guess was right as I did my research on YouTube. Yes, I went to YouTube and searched how to turn on the Fuji XF1. It appears that I have to somehow unlock the lens, push it out, then twist the lens to fully turn it on. There's like 3 or 4 steps, too many to turn on a camera. Let's say the camera is in my bag and I see something happen, and I take it from my bag and I have to twist, turn, push, pull, whatever on the lens until the camera is ready to take a shot. I would have missed the shot. And I'm not the kind of person who will leave the camera to turn on all the time. And the fact that I have to turn it on and off by rotating the lens, that is just too much work, it's cumbersome, and there's a risk of losing shots, especially if I'm going to use this camera for street photography. This is actually a deal breaker if you want to use this camera reflexively, if you want a camera to react quickly. That turning on and off mechanism, that rotating lens is not ideal in this situation, and I wouldn't advise using this camera for doing any street shooting. Anyways, to me, that's just a complaint. There is an inconvenience. However, the real deal breaker is that after I've just shot for 1 day with this camera, just 1 day, everything works fine. The next day, sometime in the afternoon, the camera stopped working. It gave me this lens control error. At first, I was quite curious, so I just turned on and off multiple times. I take out the battery, I reset the camera, I did everything that I can think of to try to remedy this problem. And I went to YouTube, to Google, and I realized that the lens control error on the Fuji XF1 was quite a common problem. In fact, it actually happened maybe a few months after it was purchased new, still within warranty, and it happens to a lot of people. All this information are available online. You just have to do a quick search on Fuji XF1 lens control error problems, and you'll come with all these disgruntled customers. Hey, I'm not bashing Fuji here. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I admit that Fuji is a popular brand and they're doing quite well. But this old compact camera, there's something in this for you to think about. If you do encounter the Fuji XF1 in the used market, or even if you found one new, just be prepared and be warned that this camera can die anytime because of the lens control error. And there may be no cheap or quick solution to fix it. Anyway, it's a risk that I understood when I bought a camera from the used marketplace. There is always a chance for the camera to fail, and I'm fully prepared for that. It didn't deter my spirit when I was on the streets as the camera sort of died on me. I just whipped up my phone and I continued shooting, and I got some quite interesting shots that I was very happy with, which I've actually already published on my Facebook page. But anyways, shutter therapy goes on. I thought this Fuji XF1 was quite an interesting camera. It is so slim, so compact. It produces decent image quality. I thought it looked so beautiful. I would have loved this camera if it was not for some serious flaws in like the turn on and off mechanism by rotating the lens, pushing the lens, and of course, the lens control error. If you found my sharing beneficial, if you enjoyed looking at my photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal, links in the description below. That will definitely help me to continue making more content. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Go out and take more photographs.